Hello, welcome to 30-Minute Mindfulness. So today I thought we'd talk a bit about motivation. Many of us have more time right now than we've had in a long time, but I hear so often it's difficult to get things done. Where did my day go? I'm not feeling like doing that in-home workout. I'm not feeling like doing my meditation every day, whatever it is. Well, remember, motivation comes after action. It's not before. It's the action of doing that makes us feel good about doing it. And that's what motivates us to keep going, to persevere. Life is hard. And how do we keep moving forward? How do we keep doing it when life has knocked us down probably multiple times? The painful part is temporary. Like all things, this too shall pass. It's our willingness to get back up. It's our willingness to pick yourself up when you feel bruised and battered to the bone. That's where we create success. Success doesn't come easy. Success isn't about avoiding the knockdown. We all get beat up. That's life. That's part of understanding how to do it right. Yet success isn't forced or isn't focused on how hard we just got knocked down. It's focused on finding the strength to get back up. No doubt you're foggy, no doubt you're weary, no doubt disoriented, but you got this. When those inner shame demons start telling you you can't, or you suck, or you're not good enough, or you don't have what it takes, whatever it is, do your best to say to them, not today. I'm not buying into your story today, not today. And that is you getting up. That is thinking different. That is success. Joseph Campbell says, opportunities to find deeper powers within ourselves come when life seems most challenging. We gotta fight our way back to the light. In a sense, we sacrifice what we are for who we're becoming. You are the phoenix rising from the ashes. If your dreams don't scare you, they're not big enough. Don't be afraid to fail. Don't be afraid to make decisions. It wasn't thousands and thousands of failed attempts before Edison made that first light bulb. No, it was thousands and thousands of things that helped him understand more deeply how a light bulb worked, how the electricity stuff worked. And he figured it out. Joseph Campbell says, where you stumble and fall, there you will find gold. If you think you can or you think you can't, you're usually right either way. It's difficult to think different. It's difficult to believe in yourself. It's difficult to believe in ourselves. It's difficult to stand up to those shame demons in our mind. But why not? Why not you? Why can't you have the job you've always dreamed of? Why can't you have the life you've always dreamed of? Why can't you have that relationship that you know is down there somewhere deep in your heart? Genius is not made from natural talent. Genius comes from grit. It's that combination of hard work and perseverance that come together. It's that keep on keeping on stuff. That's what genius is. We're not born pro. We become pro by hours and hours and hours of practicing our craft. Thomas Edison said, genius is 1% inspiration and 99% perspiration. Joseph Campbell says, we must be willing to let go of the life we have planned to have the life that is waiting for us. He also said, if the path before you is clear, you're probably on somebody else's path. You have a passion for a reason. Follow that. You know, King Arthur and the Knights of the Round Table, they had this noble quest of seeking the Holy Grail. So each knight would set out on his quest alone, and he would enter the forest in the deepest, darkest place where there was no way or path. Because if there was a way or path, he was following the path of another. You are not here to be like him or to be like her. You are here to show up as the best version of who you are. So no one has ever been here before with your particular gifts and your abilities. You are embodied potential and possibility. Joseph Campbell says, the cave you fear to enter holds the treasure you seek. You have the power to change your life. We all have the powers. We all have the power within us to change our life. Limitation is often an illusion. It might not unravel as you expect. So you need to be open to packages wrapped in kind of funky ways. But limitations are illusions. Or another way of saying that is limitations are gifts to unravel where we are stuck. They're gifts to help us see more clearly. Our quest is to see through the limitations. Your quest is to fly, to create, to become the best version of who you are. That's what you're intended to do. As Joseph Campbell says, the privilege of a lifetime is being who you are. So I invite you to sit now for about 20 minutes in the company of this amazing human, who you are. So close your eyes and find a posture that's comfortable. Something that's upright but not rigid. A posture that embodies dignity, whatever that means to you. And just take a few breaths. Find that anchor, that breath, that in, that out, that steady presence, that consistent here, that home base. That emptiness in a good sense, that emptiness in a still sense. Mindfulness is the practice of becoming aware of our thoughts. We become aware of when those shame demons start talking to us, when they diminish our ability to stand up, to be strong, to believe in ourselves. So we're just becoming aware and we're noticing. We're not pushing away. We're not calling them bad. We're just saying, oh, look at that. That's here. That's here. We might label it thinking, thinking, thinking. Or you might put that thought on a leaf and let it float down the river of your mind. Whatever imagery works for you, just notice and let it go. Every time we have a thought, it's just a practice in mindfulness. We just come back to the breath. We come back to that home base. Just like Edison, 1,000 tries. Us too, with every thought. If it's 1,000 tries, it's 1,000 opportunities to come back to our breath. When you dream about your life, your hopes, what do your thoughts say to you? When you dream about the version of your highest self, what arises? Do your thoughts tell you not to dream too big, to be safe? Maybe they say you can't do this, or you're not smart enough, or who do you think you are to think you could do this? Maybe they say you don't have what it takes. Maybe these voices sound like a parent's voice, or a teacher from the past, or a critical friend, or maybe an ex-partner's voice. Maybe it's your voice. But it doesn't matter either way. This is just shame trying to keep us stuck, to protect us from feeling disappointment and failure. Yet these thoughts they're just illusions. They're misguided information. And they're ways of hiding us from the best version of who we are. That best version that lives deep within our heart. Our movement towards healing or towards wholeness, it's a process. It's a slow unraveling of the knots, often the unconscious knots that are just floating inside. So when you hear those limiting voices, I invite you to gently respond to that voice, saying something like, I see that you're trying to keep me safe. I see that you're trying to keep me from feeling disappointment or failure. Your story no longer serves me. You no longer serve me. And then let that voice that carries this stuck, limiting perspective, just let it pixelate, turn into little tiny fragments in your mind, particles of nothingness, and then let it blow away. When we practice mindfulness, we're cultivating a relationship with ourself because we're practicing seeing clearly. We're doing our best to allow whatever arises to arise, whether it's voices that are harsh and limiting, or whatever it might be, but we allow it to arise in a sense that we see clearly. We see clearly what is, and then we let it go. We let it pass. We don't have to buy into the story. We don't have to buy into that thought. There's tremendous power that comes from realizing it's just a thought. That's just a voice. That's just a voice telling me I can't. But I don't have to believe that voice. And I'm not going to believe that voice. That voice, that message no longer serves me. As you breathe in, let that in-breath just fill your lungs with this willingness to learn. Breathe in willingness to persevere, to keep on keeping on. Breathe in that. And now breathe in your willingness to show up as your best self. Just breathe that in. Hold it for a second. And then let it go. Showing up as our best self doesn't mean we're perfect. It doesn't mean we do it right all the time. It means we see our humanity clearly and we honor our limitations. We rest when we need to rest. And we pick up our bootstraps when we can. We do our best. We ebb and flow with our humanity. And just like mindfulness, every time we have a thought and we come back to our breath, every time we have an experience that's not helping us get to that goal, it's an opportunity to come back to the drawing board and figure out what works, to figure out how to show up as our best self in a more effective way. It's a gentle, curious, continuous evolution of deeper understanding. I'll ring the bell in just a couple minutes. So let's just take these last few minutes and come back to your breath. Just that home base, that steadiness, that stillness, that in and out. And when you're ready, please open your eyes. Thanks for being here. Remember, the privilege of a lifetime is being who you are. I love your comments and feedback. Talk to you soon. See you tomorrow.